Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Intimate Insights Live. I'm Sky Blue Kutchi. I'm your host, and I also host our Facebook community, Thriving Women in Relationships. And we do this show every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. And for folks who don't know me, I'm a relationship, intimacy, and sex therapist. And I help women have better sex and intimacy and feel more connected with your partner. And today we have a really special guest, Laura Ulrich. And she's going to talk to us about some really awesome things related to menopause and female sexual health and general holistic health. Laura, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sky Blue. It's an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. Can you
Thank
tell
you.
us a little bit more about what you do and how you help women?
Sure, I'd love to. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist and I'm a metabolism specialist and menopause health coach. So basically, I work with women 35 and up because menopause also means perimenopause, not just menopause, and then, of course, and beyond. So I help women to feel great and love their bodies because I personally know how terrible it feels to not be well physically, mentally, spiritually, all the things, and how it affects every aspect of our life. So I help women to shed their menopausal middle, increase their energy, boost their confidence so that they really do feel good and love their bodies.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really important and like really valuable for women. Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
Yes. And how long have you been doing this work?
I've actually been doing this for 30 years, which
Wow.
is quite amazing. I'm really 24. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually 59 years old tomorrow.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, you look so amazing and you have such a youthful energy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really work hard at it because, like I said, how I personally know how it feels is because I grew up very, very sick.
Mm-hmm.
Asthma, allergies, thyroid issues, food allergies. I had a liver disease. And then, of course, even as a wellness practitioner, I had no idea I was going through perimenopause. Perimenopause could last for 10 years prior to menopause, which menopause is technically the one day when you have not had your period for 12 months. And
Mm-hmm.
then we're supposedly post-menopause, right? But we're menopause for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I struggled for so many years, even as a wellness practitioner, which is why I focus specifically on women that are perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. And then I also had a hysterectomy when I was 54, a complete total hysterectomy. They removed both my ovaries, my tubes, my uterus, my cervix,
Mm-hmm.
everything. And a year after that, I thought I was going crazy because they did not give me hormones.
Oh my
Yeah, it was
gosh.
absolutely, yeah, I almost got divorced twice. Like it affected when estrogen walks out the door, it affects every part of our bodies, brain, everything. We have estrogen receptors from our head to our toe, and not every woman has the same symptoms, right? And even
Mm-hmm.
if there are no symptoms, that our hormones really affect our brain, bone, and heart health as well. It's just, you could tell I'm so passionate about it because I went through trauma. I don't
Yeah.
want any other woman to go through that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thanks for sharing your story with us. That sounds like
You're
you went through
welcome.
a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Same with my
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, for anyone who's listening, if you're commenting or you have any questions for us, just know that we'll answer those after the recording is over. Um, and Laura, are you in our community already on Facebook?
I'm not sure.
Okay. If you'd
If
like
I'm
to
not,
be,
we will make sure. I would love to be.
yeah, if you'd like to be, and you're in the group, is it okay if people tag you or message you if they have any questions about what you're sharing?
Tag me, message me, however you feel comfortable. That would be great.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I know that a lot of women in our group, Thriving Women in Relationships, uh, they want to know more about perimenopause. And my sense is there's a lot of women, probably around my age, I'm turning 38, and in their early 40s, who are like, I feel different. Something's going on, but there's such a lack of education, I think, in our society and in our world about perimenopause. Is there anything that you can think of that we should know? Women who might be going through perimenopause, but we don't know what it is.
Absolutely. When we start to feel like a stranger in our own body, it's not just in our head. It could be energy shifting, it could be mood shifting, it could be periods changing, it could be starting to have painful sex because of the lack of lubrication. Like it just depends on where you are in the system of the journey, right? And also, if quote unquote, all of a sudden you have weight around the middle and you haven't changed anything, you've been eating the same, nothing has changed, and now all of a sudden you can't lose weight and you're gaining weight around the middle. That's another sign of estrogen depleting because
Mm.
as we age, even before we get to perimenopause, we start to lose eggs after we're like born, right? We're born with all of our eggs and then we start to lose them. And as we get older, we are losing more and more and more. It's like the adult, what's it called? It's like the adult puberty. Things are going a little cray cray. And it's the
Mm.
zone of chaos. Like Dr. Mary Claire always talks about the zone of chaos because one minute you'll be fine, and then the next minute you're crying at a commercial or you're screaming at your husband or like at a drop of a dime because the hormones are fluctuating. So if I could only say one sentence, it's if things don't feel right, you don't feel the same in your body, and you are 35 or over, you're starting to go through perimenopause.
Yeah. Wow. So it sounds like there's so many different kinds of symptoms that we can have.
Sky Blue, like 100 different symptoms. It could be
Yay.
tinnitus, it could be joint pain. I know, right? Joint pain. Well, the one cool thing that I couldn't wait for when I didn't have my, when I was going to be in menopause was not having a period anymore. Yay. And then there's all these other things that go on instead. But it
Mm.
doesn't have to be bad, right? There are things I wish I would have been trained in this when I was going through perimenopause to make the transition easier, right?
Mm.
Because when we focus on metabolic health, focus on blood sugar, focus on reducing inflammation, it makes all things better, right? Regardless of whether we're talking about perimenopause symptoms or another health ailment or even mental issue that we may have, right? Anytime we increase inflammation, it makes things worse. So anytime we can reduce inflammation and keep our blood sugar stable, things will be way better. Because
Mm.
think about it, if you spike your blood sugar, right, it
Yeah.
produces insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin's job is to store fat, then we crash and burn. And then our brain is on this roller coaster too. Our moods, everything is going on this roller coaster. So
Mm.
metabolic health is like the foundation. And a lot of women think metabolism is only about weight, but it's not. Metabolism is energy as well.
Mm. Wow.
So that
So,
would be the foundational.
right, the foundational thing. So you mentioned blood
Mhm.
sugar levels being really important.
Mhm.
If you were to explain it to me like I'm 5, what does that mean? And like, what do I do to help my blood sugar levels stay steady?
Great question. So when we eat certain foods, they have a glycemic index. They're either going to spike our blood sugar or they're not. And when we eat foods like breads, pastas, potatoes, things in boxes, most of the time, but even real foods, right? Like potatoes are high glycemic. When we eat a food that spikes our blood sugar too much, that's when we are on this roller coaster. Instead of eating foods like lean proteins, most vegetables, but not potatoes or corn, those kind of healthy fats, those kind of things. And it doesn't have to be 100%. Like eating to serve our body so that our body functions the way we want it to 90% of the time. Then when we go off plan once or twice a week, our body knows how to handle it. What happens is when we do it too many times, our body is just doing its job by trying to protect us, by storing fat, going on the roller coaster, then our blood sugar crashes, then our brain thinks it's starving, right? So it's really, if we don't like the job our body is doing, or if we don't feel good, then we need to give our body different information so it does and feels like we want it to feel. And I know I made that sound very simple, but everybody can go to my website as well. I've got a recommended food guide, if you will, that shows you most desirable, moderately desirable, least desirable foods as far as they spike your blood sugar. I have complimentary free recipes in my blog. I have a recipe ebook that people can download, but all kinds of information to help people understand what that really looks like. Because it's amazing. Like even yesterday, we had my husband was in the mood for baked beans. When you buy baked beans in a can, they are full of sugar. I only had 2 tablespoons full with my vegetables and my lean protein. But I could feel the difference because I lived this way for so many years. Felt my blood sugar spike a little bit, and then I didn't sleep as well.
Interesting. Okay, so can it affect your sleep?
Well, I get cranky. Oh, completely. That's another thing with perimenopause too. Perimenopause, menopause, or beyond. If your sleep is affected, things are going on. Like you wake up at that 3 a.m. witching hour and you can't fall back to sleep. It's either because your cortisol is spiking or the estrogen is walking out the door.
Yay, this is so exciting.
But you know what? The cool thing is that I know it sounds like it sucks, but when we understand what's happening and that we're not going crazy, because I even thought I was going crazy. Like I thought I needed to go see a shrink and get some medication. I was like, it was that bad.
Oh, we were talking about sleep. We're talking about how
sleep
estrogen can affect sleep quality.
Estrogen as well as spiking our blood sugar. So first thing to go to is if the insulin, meaning your blood sugar, is on a roller coaster. That's the foundational hormone, right? So first we take a look at insulin and cortisol. Then we would want to take a look at if there's any thyroid issues going on. Then take a look at sex hormones, female hormones, because if insulin and cortisol are going cray-cray, good luck trying to balance sex hormones, right? So really, like I said, the insulin, the metabolic health, the blood sugar issues, those are really the foundational things to take a look at first. And you know what happens when we're sleepy? We don't have the capacity for much, right? Because we get cranky. And who then wants to be intimate with their partner when you're exhausted? I know I'm not the only one, right?
No. I mean, personally, one of my biggest breaks for sex is feeling tired. I'm like, I don't feel like that.
No, for sure. And my husband, he's so cute. He's like tries to tell men about what's going on with women when they're tired. Oh yeah, when they're tired, or if there is an estrogen loss, right? As we start losing, because painful sex, because you're dry down there. Well, if it's not comfortable, no matter how much lubrication you use,
Mhm.
who wants to have sex? Right? And then we come up with excuses or different things to try and get around it, which then we feel bad emotionally and then wonder if we're broken. And we're not broken. There's things really going on.
Yeah, I love that you said that. We're not broken. And even though, like, sometimes I'm having a reaction like, oh, this is not going to be fun, that might be true. But at the same time, like, this is natural and normal, and we're all going to go through this as women. So you're not broken. If this is you and you're there right now, like, you're not broken. There's definitely ways that you can get support and get some help. Uh, like Laura, you would be a fantastic resource. I'm a great resource for the sex, intimacy, relationship stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because that's really super important. I mean, the better we feel physically, mentally, and spiritually, I feel the better prepared we are to be successful in our personal and our professional lives. And our relationships take work. I remember learning not too long ago, I was like, wait a minute, like, why is this so much effort? Well, relationships take work. It's not like it is in the movies.
No, not at all. Yeah. And same thing with, perimenopause and menopause. It sounds like it's not just like, boom, one day you're in menopause. Like, there's this whole lead up 10, 15 years of your body changing, your mentality, your spirit changing.
Everything changing.
Every
And then once you're technically in menopause, right? Menopause is that one day when you haven't had your period for 12 months. Well, that was 5 years ago for me. It isn't like everything is rosy now, right? Like I still have to work on my healthy lifestyle so that it serves my body, so that my body does and feels the way I want it to. Proper food, rest, alone time, community time, possibly medication. Some people need hormones, the right supplementation. Like, it's this whole toolkit that we really do need in order to feel our best.
Yeah, so it does sound very holistic. Like, it's not just about the physical, it's also emotional, mental, spiritual, community-based, social stuff to like live your best life as you're in midlife as a woman.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine if we knew this when we were even younger.
I know.
Like when the chaos is happening when you're teens or in your 20s, and life is
Right.
really changing from how you've been in your parents' house. Like, anytime a woman, every phase of a woman's life, we can benefit from a holistic wellness plan.
Yeah, I love that. I wish I had known more about it as a even younger person. And I wanted to ask you something. I don't know if this is in your wheelhouse, so tell me if it's not, and that's totally fine. But hormonal birth control, does do you know, like, does that affect us very much? Like, in terms,
Yes,
yeah.
because it's changing hormones for sure. And then a lot of people think that when they don't need the birth control anymore, that the birth control pills are good for perimenopause, menopause, and that's not the case. It's a different amount that you would need for birth control, not having kids, versus hormone balance, if you will. But yeah, it changes things for sure because it's affecting your hormones. And I know nowadays it's a lot better than it was when I was in my 20s. We had way too much in there. I remember it made me sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime we take medication, it changes things. Even if you take an antihistamine over the counter, it'll say you could either feel like speedy or drowsy. It just depends on how your body is going to react because everybody's chemistry is different.
That's right. So it's a very subjective like personal experience. Every woman is going to feel different and have different symptoms.
Totally. Absolutely. And you want to make sure that you find a doctor that is trained in what they're helping you with. If they're trained in birth control, and OBGYNs are not trained in perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. They're just not. And so the only way you can, not nuts, they don't even get any training in that. And so the only way to find an OB-GYN that can help you with perimenopause and menopause effectively is to find one that chose to do special training in that area. And there is a website called menopause.org that you can put in your zip code. I can't remember if it's outside of the US, but put in your zip code and then you can find a doctor who is a specialist in menopause care, which includes perimenopause as well.
Okay. What did you say? Menopause.org?
Menopause.org. Find a practitioner and then put in your zip code. And just because they are certified as a menopause practitioner doesn't always necessarily mean that the first person you find is going to be the right one for you either. It took me 3 people.
That's a great point. Yeah, you have to, just like finding a therapist or any other type of doctor or provider, like finding someone who's a good fit is really important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Not only a good fit, but really does understand what your personal needs are.
I love that. Yeah. This is such a great conversation. And I'm going through some of this like right now myself. I think I might be experiencing some perimenopause stuff. I'm turning 38 soon. But I was also on the birth control pill for 26 years of my life.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's a long time. And I started when I was 13 and I got off 6 months ago. And I do feel like I've been going through like puberty. It's been totally wild. My body's changing and my moods were all over the place and I had crazy brain fog.
I would recommend going to see a doctor that specializes in perimenopause for sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to suffer for years like that.
Yeah, no. And I recommend if anyone's listening and any of this is resonating with you, like you don't have to suffer. Like find someone that to help you out.
Absolutely. One of the things though to make sure though, Sky Blue, especially for you or anybody, is even though I said it would be good to find somebody that specializes in that, they're not going to help you with making sure your insulin and blood sugar is stable.
Yeah.
So you could get brain fog just from spiking your blood sugar and then it crashing, because what comes up must come crashing down. So I would say look into that first, whether it's with me or anybody else that can help you with that, because many of the symptoms will be mimicked for perimenopause and menopause as well. And might as well look into the insulin. Everybody's spiking their blood sugar.
Yeah.
I've never had one client ever that didn't have some varying degree of blood sugar issue. It's just America, right? Or North America.
Yeah.
Even I have people in many different other countries. It's like that there too, but specifically, it's even worse in North America for some reason, probably because of all the food that's available, but we won't get into that. So because that blood sugar spike and drop absolutely causes massive brain fog. What if fixing that helps you? And it isn't because of perimenopause.
I love that. That's really great advice. I appreciate it. Yeah. So all the links that Laura has mentioned, like for your free resources and the menopause.org, we'll put all of that in the comments below this video if anybody wants to access that. Yeah, and in terms of, relationships and intimacy, like this, I'm trying to relate the two. Like we've been talking about perimenopause, menopause, and relationships and intimacy. And my sense is like these things are really deeply connected, especially, when we're in our late 30s, mid 40s, and we're experiencing those types of things. Um, and you mentioned that your husband is trying to educate other men, and I love that so much because I think as women, we're still like catching up. We're trying to figure out what is perimenopause? What am I going through? And I think most men are
Yeah.
completely clueless. And that must affect
Clueless.
relationships.
Hands down, absolutely, right? Because when we don't feel good, it affects our relationships. And who are the people that suffer the most? The people that live in our house, our husband, or whoever your significant other is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a big deal. Men don't talk about stuff either. Probably less than we do.
Way less.
And
Yeah.
way less. So my husband and I have been together for 32 years. He's also, even though he's uh, PhD in aviation. He was a airplane mechanic for forever, and he's still doing things, working on airplane parts. He's also a master life coach. So he loves to be able to help men specifically, like how I love to help women specifically.
Mm.
He loves to help men. I mean, he's going to be 71 in December, for goodness.
Mm.
He just published a book, as a matter of fact. It's called Son, Brother, Husband, Dad, Reimagine Manhood, Rediscover You.
Oh, that sounds
I
very
was so
sweet.
proud of him. It took him 2 years.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be helpful if more partners, whatever their gender, like knew more about perimenopause and menopause and how it affects women and how that can affect your relationship. And it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that like this is a new chapter and things might start changing and feel different.
Exactly. And as we get older, I mean, I remember being younger and the older ladies in my life would tell me, oh, life gets so much better because you care less about what people think and you care more about taking care of yourself and how taking care of yourself then helps you in your relationships, right?
Yeah.
And every decade, it's true. Like, I can
Mm-hmm.
tell what decade a woman is in just by the way she's talking and feeling about herself and how much self-care she does. It really is awesome how this this change, remember, we're not broken, it's just a new
Mm.
season of our life
Yeah.
where we realize as we get more mature that it makes more sense. Like, we really are of better use and helpful in our relationships. Our relationships are better when we take care of ourselves, when we feel better. Like, my
Mm.
husband knows when if I get cranky, he knows I'm either tired or hungry
Mm-hmm.
or I have a headache, like an actual headache, not just saying I have a headache.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. And I think any woman at whatever stage of life you're in, like caring for yourself first is really, really important. And when it comes to sex and intimacy, if we're not taking care of ourselves and filling up our own cup and like feeling rejuvenated, and all we're doing is taking care of other people and giving away our energy, but not filling it back up, sex and intimacy starts to feel like a chore. And we're like, this is another thing that I have to give away. I hear that a lot. And that's no
Yeah,
fun. That's not fun for
no
anybody.
fun at all. No.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to tell our partners what we need or ask for what we want. Like, for example, sex doesn't happen at nighttime in our house. It just doesn't. I'm exhausted by the end of the day. It's not fun for me.
Yeah.
And like, my husband loves when we have weekends or a 3-day vacation, right? Like, we just had Labor Day. He loves that because then I'm not doing my business as well.
Yeah.
And I have more energy for us to be together. So I remember like trying to play it off as I was tired or what I finally had to realize that had to tell him the truth. Listen, I'm sorry, after dinner, 9 o'clock at night on a work day, not feeling sexy. Like, I don't have any more to give. Then he made the joke. He was like, well, you could set the alarm earlier before I go to work. And I'm like, no.
No 5 a.m. sex either.
Yeah, no 5 a.m. sex. So for sure, on the weekends,
Yeah.
there's sex in our house. And sometimes during the week, but not as a rule.
Yeah. I love that you were really honest with him and just shared how you felt and what you were going through.
That didn't happen until my 50s. So ladies in your 30s and 40s, it's okay. Like, think about when we go on an airplane. They tell you if the oxygen mask, God forbid, comes down, you must put the oxygen mask on yourself first before even putting it on your child sitting next to you. Because if you can't breathe, you can't help anybody. And we really need to start. I mean, you hear this and you see this on memes, I'm sure. Self-care is not selfish, right? But it's true. The better you feel, the more equipped you are to enjoy any aspect of your relationship, especially intimacy. Plus, you want to feel confident about if you're not feeling well, if you have brain fog, or if you feel uncomfortable because weight has shifted and now there's more weight around the middle. Like, how sexy do you feel when those things are happening and you're not even understanding what's going on and you feel like you're broken because you feel like you're the only one this is happening to? And you're not.
That's right. I think what you just described is such a common experience for women. And I think we all need to hear that. And we're not broken. There's a lot of resources out there for help. People like Laura, or look at menopause.org. We'll put that link below if you want to find someone in your area.
Or Sky Blue, hello, for relationships and intimacy.
Yeah, relationship, intimacy, and sex is my jam. So, Laura, if there was anything else you'd like all these ladies to know more about, like how they can get a hold of you or get into your orbit, how can they do that?
Absolutely. So my website is my name. So it's Laura Ulrich, spelled LoraUlrich.com. And like Sky Blue said, we'll put a link down in the comments below afterwards. And that is my website. And you can also get on my email list. You'll get on my email list if you download one of my freebie ebooks, or if you scroll all the way down on the homepage, you'll see there's just a link that says get on my newsletter. And I send out emails to my list every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern with tips, tricks, information, all about metabolism, energy, feeling better, all the things, right? Because if you think about what are the different tools that we could put in our toolbox to feel better, it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. We can really make it simple, which then creates habits. And in my world, I want people to create habits so then they become rituals. A habit in my life means I'm still working at it. A ritual is like brushing my teeth. I don't think about it, I just do it. And so how beautiful I see in my clients when they create these habits that then become rituals, and then it's just a way of life, so that the things they're doing are serving their body so that they feel better physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's a game changer. And I know it's not as simple as I just made that sound, trust me. I know I still struggle with things sometimes, right? I'm not perfect either.
Yeah.
It's just a daily, right? It's a daily thing. But one of the things that I love to talk about is mindset. And it's not that we're depriving ourselves from doing things that don't serve us. It's truly thinking about what really matters most and what do I need to do to get that. If the chocolate cake or the bag of tortilla chips, that's my weakness, if those aren't serving me, because then it spikes my blood sugar and then I crash and burn and I don't feel good and I can't sleep and et cetera, et cetera. If that's not serving my body, then I'm not depriving myself from not eating those. I'm choosing to eat these things instead. so that I really get what I want. Not that instant gratification, right? I want to feel good and look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I love
then
that.
when mom is happy, everybody's happy.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you
Right?
so much, Laura.
My husband knows that for sure. If mom ain't happy, he's not happy.
Yeah, we want everyone to be happy in the relationship.
I want everybody to be happy.
Yeah, thank you so
Well, I mean,
much.
if my husband's not feeling good too, though, and then I always feel bad for him too. So it's not only one-sided. But yeah, so that's the way you can find me, and then also on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook. Well, not all. Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. It's also my name as well. So you can find me there and get into my orbit. And I would love to have you around, and hopefully the information that I put either on social or in my newsletters or any of my programs would be of benefit to you, because it truly does fuel my soul to help ladies feel better.
I love that. I can tell you're very passionate about this. Thanks for your time and sharing all of your wisdom with us. Yes,
My
thanks
pleasure.
everyone.
Thank you so much for having me, Sky Blue.
You're so welcome. Yeah, thanks everyone who tuned in. We'll see you next week for another Intimate Insights live at 12 o'clock PDT on Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.